Hello there, my name is Emily McNichols, and if you are looking for either a new goat for your herd at home, or just looking at a starting goat for you to learn, or just even wanting to raise one for milk production, I have a goat that you may like. It is called the LaMancha goat. You may have seen them in videos in the past where they would be standing in the cameras of doors. So here is a quick run view of this breed, see if you like them or not. So first off, we have looks. LaManchas are a smaller breed of goat. They are still large, with does coming in at 130 pounds, with bucks 150, but they are smaller than a few other dairy goats. If you're looking for a wide color variation, they come in multiple colors. They can be seen in multiple patterns. They are mostly found without horns, but can be found with them, so be a heads up for that. Their most noticeable feature is smaller ears than most breeds, and they have a wide variety of these too. If you're not looking for a large breed, you can also find the miniature version of these goats. These goats are very good at being very positive, cooperative, and calm, which makes them great if you have kids or you're just starting. They do really well with people and other goats. History, these guys can be traced back to Spain from when the conquistadors brought them over originally. They were not considered a breed themselves. They were not fully developed as a breed until the 18th century, where they were fully developed in the US. From breeding, this is where they get their variety of ears, as they were bred for their strong structures, but also their butterfat content in the milk, along with a mild flavor. Since because they were bred for these higher up traits, was not much concern over ears, so the variation was completely accidental. If you are looking for a specific job, these guys do really well for dairy. So whether you're looking for cheese production or just a goat that produces a lot of milk, these guys do really well. But also if you have like a kid that wants to do FFA or 4-H, they do really well as show animals, as they're very easygoing. Now, some of the advantages that these guys have is, first off, a high butterfat content, which is higher than most Swedish breeds of goats, which means they do really well for cheese. They also produce high yields of milk with a mild flavor, so they tend to produce more than most dairy goats. They also adjust to really harsh climates, so you can have them almost anywhere because they do well in heat, they do well in cold, and they have very few health problems as a whole breed. A few other disadvantages are their ears. Depending on what type of goat ear you have, some are easily more prone to ear infections, while others are frostbite. And if you're doing some such as showing or just a small herd or small operation, identification can be problematic for these guys, as their ears are too small for tagging or tattooing. So they're actually going to be often tattooed underneath the tail to make up for that, so they can easily be identified. And as a breed, they have a higher hygiene requirement because of their ears, due to a wax buildup that they have, which can collect dirt. A few changes that we can make to these animals to make things easier is either to breed for the larger version of the ears, which would help prevent as many ear infections, but we would have to be careful of frostbite, or also just to improve management to make sure that ear cleaning is complete, as they tend to collect a lot of dirt due to they produce a lot of earwax, which can build up with a lot of bacteria. Most owners of these goats tend to just take baby wipes or a warm wet cloth to help clean out their ears when needed. These guys are believed to be fully developed in California. There are a few that say they were developed in other states. These goats also have two main variants of ear. One is called the elf ear, being around 2 inches in length. These guys that have these ears tend to do better against ear infections but are more prone to frostbite, versus the gopher ear, which is smaller than 1 inch. So you can see one in the photo to the left, there's two goats with much larger ears. Those are elf ears, they're much bigger, versus the goat on the right where the ears are much smaller. Those are a few fun facts for goats. They do come in a wide variety, as you can see. If you want to, here are a few links that, if you're interested, you can look up, see if you find the goats more interesting, and if they might be a good fit for your ranch or your family pet. So they are really good because they are kind of low maintenance compared to most goats. They're much more relaxed. So if you're worried about them not getting along with either the other goats you have or just kids, they will do really well. Just give them a buddy and they'll be okay. Just be careful of those ears and you'll be good to go.